Hi everyone, welcome to 40K on Point, the channel that quantify Warhammer 40K. This video describes the heavy support choice for a Chaos Space Marine, and it is using our predefined matrix and methodology. If you want to know more about the methodology, please follow the link in the description. There are many heavy support choice for the Chaos Space Marine. Those presented here are the one in the codex. So it will be the Defiler, Forge Fiend, Avoc, Mauler Fiend, Obliterators, and Venom Crawler. So the Defiler is our first unit. For 170 points, you are getting a Defiler with Twin Last Cannon and Defiler Scourge. It has 14 wounds of toughness 7 and a save 3+. It has also a save 5+ and vulnerable, and it is regenerating 1 lost wound per turn. It has 8 inch of movement and can also move and shoot without penalty. It has a 4 base attack plus 3 for the Defiler Scourge, so it has a decent number of attack. Overall, that gives a very versatile unit that is extremely resistant. So as it based, its defensive cost is pretty low, because it has a huge number of wounds, a good toughness, good save, and it can heal one per turn. So there's a lot of elements that are stacking to give a good fortitude score. Also, the ability to have 3 more attacks and a 3 of damage. It makes a good anti-tank melee unit, and it has some anti-personal melee capacity. Its anti-tank shooting also is good for its point, thanks to its Twin Last Cannon. So overall, when you're paying for a Defiler, you are getting a unit that has twice the amount of points than what you are paying for. So it's a very efficient unit because it has 2 times more firepower than its defensive cost. So overall, that makes an excellent competitive choice for Chaos Space Marine player. Without any other force multiplier, this unit can be considered competitive. So for 155 points, you are getting a Forge Fiend armed with 2 Hades autocannon and an Ectoplasma cannon. So for that amount of points, you are getting 12 wounds, toughness 7, save 3+, also save invulnerable save of 5+, and infernal regeneration of 1 lost wound per turn. You are also getting a unit that can move and shoot for 8 inch per turn, and that has 4 attacks without any specific weapon. So overall, that gives a unit that is worth its point, thanks to its very strong fortitude score. It comes from the number of wounds per point, its toughness, its different save, and also the ability to regenerate. All that turns into makes a unit that is very resistant. However, its damage output is limited. It has almost no anti-melee capacity, and its shooting is okay. But that's why it is not super strong shooting, but very resistant unit. So that makes a unit that it's worth its point. So for 150 points, you are getting 5 avocs, including an aspiring champion, all armed, and the 4 avoc are armed with last cannon. So that makes 4 last cannon within the unit. For 150 points, you are getting 5 wounds of toughness 5, save 3+, and they have the ability to move and shoot their heavy weapon without any penalty. According to our metrics, the avoc are a point sink. It has an excellent anti-shooting capacity, but one of the worst fortitude score in the game. You are paying a lot of point per wound. It's a very fragile unit, and each hit that you are going to receive on a Havoc are going to be very costly in point. So it makes a unit that is extremely fragile, and its firepower, while being very, very good, is not high enough to compensate for the weakness in fortitude. For 140 points, you are getting a Mauler Fiend armed with the Mauler Fiend Fist and the Lasher Tendrils. It gives a unit for 140 points that has 12 wounds, toughness 7, save 3+, that has also invulnerable save of 5+, and that is also regenerating 1 wound per turn. The unit is a bit faster. It has a 10-inch movement, and it has quite a good number of attack thanks to its Lasher Tendrils that gives an additional 6 attack to its base 4 attacks. So that makes a unit that has a huge number of attack in close combat. While having no shooting capacity, the Mauler Fiend is still considered to be worth their point. Again, it has an excellent fortitude score thanks to its huge number of wounds, its high toughness, good save, invulnerable save, and also the ability to heal 1 per turn. And also it is a versatile melee opponent. It has a good anti-tank melee capacity and a very decent anti-personal melee capacity. So that makes a unit overall that will deliver as much offensive capacity as it has defensive strength. So for 105 points, you are getting 1 Obliterator that has 4 wounds, toughness 5, save 2+, a 5+ invulnerable save. Also has the ability to deep strike as a unit, even if it's quite slow by moving 4 inches per turn. Its flesh metal gun is assault 6, so good decent amount of shot with a range of 24 inch, and its strength, armor penetration, and damage change for each time. For the Matrix, it was measured that the strength was at 8, armor piercing capacity at -2, and damage 2. The unit also has 3 attacks with its Crushing Fist, which is strength 6, AP -1, and damage 2. In our Matrix, the Obliterators did not perform well. It has a strong shooting, but nothing exceptional per point. Okay, you are paying 105 points for that unit. Some units that are costless and deliver much more firepower output. Also, even if it has some melee capacity, again, you are paying 105 points. So per point, you are not receiving a very good melee score. And it is a very expensive unit per wound. So you're only getting 4 wounds out of that unit for 105 points. So even if it has a very, very good save, it's still each attack that will create damage will be very costly against that unit. So overall, that makes a unit that is not really worth their point. So for 130 points, you are getting a Venom Crawler armed with 2 Excruciator Cannon, Eviscerating Claws, and Soul Flayer Tendrils. It gives 10 wounds, toughness 7, save 3+, also invulnerable save 5+, Devourer of Soul that allows to be regain 1 wound per turn. That's only what was measured. Also the Reservoir of Demonic Energy was not considered in the metrics. The unit is fast. It has a 10-inch movement. It can move and shoot. It has also a decent attack thanks to its basic 4 and also the Soul Flayer Tendrils that adds 2 additional attacks. So overall, it makes a unit that is a bit more worth than its point. It has a very good fortitude score thanks to the number of wounds per point, save 3+, toughness 7, the ability to heal, invulnerable save, and all that. It gives excellent fortitude score, so your normalized wound is very low, and the damage output is versatile. It has some shooting capacity, anti-shooting capacity, it's okay, and it has some melee capacity, a bit more versatile than the shooting. But overall, it gives a good damage output possibilities that is a bit more than the defensive cost that you are paying for that unit. So for the heavy support option of the Chaos Space Marine, you are getting a wide variety of choice. A few point sink, the avoc and the obliterator, some units that are decent and worth their point and very useful in a friendly gaming. That is the Forge Fiend, the Mauler Fiend, and the Venom Crawler. And you have a unit that seems to appear in our metrics to be very, very good. It is the Defiler. So the Defiler, even if it's cost more, it has more wounds than the Forge Fiend, the Mauler Fiend, and the Venom Crawler. And for that reason, its fortitude score is a bit higher than the other one. So it makes you're paying less per wound than the other ones. So that makes a unit that is very, very resistant, and also that has a very versatile shooting capacity and also melee capacity. It is one of the best anti-tank melee unit, even if it has shooting capacity. So that makes a unit that is very, very interesting for Chaos Space Marine list. Before being too definitive on the obliterators, I'd like to point out that there are some Iron Warriors stratagems that would allow to hide the obliterator behind some cultists. So that may make the obliterator a bit more interesting, but that would be only with the Iron Warriors. The Defiler is a very versatile unit, however it cannot have any Legion trait. It can have, however, the Legion stratagem. It is because it's having a demon and demon engine keyword. It has access to some very interesting possibility for force multiplier. And I've tested the Master of Possession, both the Psychic Power Cursed Earth and Infernal Power, and those two elements would bring the Defiler to be 282% its worth. Also, you have the Demon Forge stratagem that really, if it's added to the Master Possession and all that, you add that together and it brings the unit to a value of 383% its value. So it's very, very very efficient unit with a lot of possibilities. This video described the heavy support choice for Chaos Space Marine, and it was using our normalized matrix. Please feel free to comment below on how to increase the efficiency of the presented units, and subscribe if you like this kind of content. I will upload all 40k units using exactly the same method. Thank you for watching. Over and out.